Hello and welcome. In today's episode, we shall be embarking on another adventure throughout Baldur's Gate 3, one that takes us to the Druid Grove, a place that is inhabited by pesky little critters that have far overstayed their welcome, namely the Druids. So we shall be cleansing the Druid Grove of Druids. Seeing how we're outnumbered, at least 4 to 1, we really incur the risk of being overwhelmed, so we will make use of all advantages we can. One of them being the narrow pathway leading to the Druid Grove that descends after a flight of stairs. A couple more things we should be aware of. Druids are formidable foes, and they can catch you by surprise if you're not prepared. One of the things you should pay attention to is the fact that they heal constantly. So, whenever you think you might have one of them on the end of his rope, he will come around, heal himself, or some of his friends will come around and heal him, and he's gonna be back in the fight before you can say whack-a-mole. Unless you believe you can take down a druid in the same turn that you're making the attack, don't get your hopes up of actually finishing him off. Just be optimistic and try to bear with it and focus your damage, and eventually you'll take them down one by one. The second thing you should be wary of are the shapeshifted druids. In my experience, these are far more capable in melee than their regular non-shifted counterparts. However, druids, apart from their healing and shapeshifting, have a very nasty surprise in store for you, meaning their AoE spells. Nothing makes a fight turn around faster than getting whopped by 3 or 4 AoE spells and watching your whole health plummet to oblivion. Now, the best thing you can do against this is to spread your forces around. Don't keep your guys bunched up. As long as there is a fair distance between them, you minimize the damage of getting whacked by the same spell. Now, I'm gonna make a little note here. You should be really wary, in particular, about Khaga. She is one mean lady. Apart from her high HP pool and her attack, she sports an incredible AoE spell. It's a force wall push kind of spell that will knock your entire team down, shave off quite a bit of HP, maybe even kill some of them. So you do not want to be hit by that with your whole squad, like I did, for instance, in this video. I did get lucky though, nobody died, and I still had one person up to hold the front. But that usually doesn't go that way. Apart from that, Khaga also has another very nasty surprise in the form of a teleport spell. She will literally appear in front of your face and pop an AoE spell, a force wall that would absolutely devastate you, especially if you're bunched up like I was. So be very mindful of that. Now moving on and coming back to the clip. What I basically did was take command of the high ground at the top of the stairs and create a choke point through the pathway so nobody could reach me without taking a considerable amount of damage, making my life a lot easier when it came to taking them down one by one. Be particularly wary here that being bunched up like this opens you up to that follow-up by Khaga, like I said. There's two ways to make use of this pathway. One is to lay traps and position barrels of fire wine or exploding powder or whatever you have, nautiloid tanks, everything you have beforehand, and create a massive trap that will, when detonated, will take down a lot of enemies fast. It's a great idea. However, I prefer the second version, which would be using the so-called barrels as grenades. I find it gives you far more mobility and it limits the chance that something will go wrong with your trap. Don't forget, a trap that's not well sprung can actually blow up in your face. So keep that in mind. Another issue of importance is the usage of consumables here. Apart from your regular grenades and everything, um, you might find yourself needing to return to the old faithful haste potion. The one thing, or speed potion, the one thing that can turn a fight around as soon as you say Wakamazoo. There's that word again. Where did that come from? Anyways, um, fights like these have a habit of going on and on and on, and if you use that potion at the wrong time, you might find yourself in a particularly bad situation. Do not forget that you are incapacitated for a short time after the use of such potions. After everything is said and done, never give up your high ground advantage. If the enemy is pushing you aggressively, simply try and move back and throw down more grenades, more suppressing fire. With a little bit of luck, you will find yourself coming out of this encounter victorious. Now, going back to the clip at hand, at this point, Shadowheart was the only one that was standing after Khaga blew everybody back, so I buffed her up with all the survivability things I could think of at the moment. Panicked a bit there, I admit. I just hold down the front, and then I tried to stabilize, get everybody up, and go back from there. Once things are going your way, though, there's a couple of things you gotta consider. Do I want this to end faster, or do I play it safe? Throughout this video, I try to play it as safe as possible because I've had many fights that, well, didn't end too well even though I thought I had the upper hand. This was one such example. I never actually did anything that would incur any amount of risk in my eyes and in my opinion anyways. I always try to keep Khaga away from the rest of my team. Also, I try to keep people from coming up the stairs by switching some DPS over to them as soon as I could see them and had reasonable chances of making a shot. Remember, you are heavily outnumbered, so in order to increase your odds, you must take down as many enemies as easily and as fast as you possibly can. If you can target the lower HP enemies, take them out. Khaga can only be focused down once you're in a safe position to do so. If the enemies swarm about you, there's no point in going after Khaga because odds are you will never get her down. Don't forget, they heal her. She drinks potions. She heals herself. It's difficult, if not borderline impossible, to take Khaga down when everyone else is healing and whopping on you. So try as much as possible to only go for Khaga once you're in a safe position to do so. There are a couple of other NPCs that can pose a problem. You'll single them out after trying this encounter a couple of times. It's really not that difficult to counter them. Everything that is valid for Khaga is pretty much valid for them as well, so just bear that in mind. And keep an eye out for Tusk, the boar. He will come in handy twice in the remainder of this video. Apart from that, in the remainder of the clip you will see after I down Khaga, she gets so angry she starts backflipping, and then it's the mopping up of the remainder of her forces, which is done at extra high speed, so you won't get too bored. Thank you for watching, and hopefully this was helpful in some way or form to you. Have a great day, and do try to stay safe in these troubled times we live in. All the best.